I opened my bank app and paused each recurring transfer. The $800 monthly top up to their mortgage. Gone. The rainy day account I kept for family emergencies. Locked. The $1,200 Blake still owed me. I knew it would never come back, but I wouldn't let another cent go his way. They wouldn't feel it right away. That's the thing about being silently useful. It's only when the support disappears that people realize it was there at all. I didn't announce my withdrawal. I didn't post a passive-aggressive quote online. I didn't even tell my friends. I just let the silent sun settle in. And for the first time, it felt like peace. Christmas came and went. I spent it alone in my apartment, with a mug of hot tea and a blanket that still smelled faintly like rosemary and fabric softener. I didn't open the gifts I had wrapped. I didn't light the tree. I didn't cry either. I just sat still. There was a strange power in not showing up where I wasn't wanted. But the day after Christmas, my phone buzzed. Not once, 3 times. My mother ignored. Then a text. "Can you answer? You've done enough damage already." My stomach dropped. Then a new call, this time from Montclair, my dad's sister. The only one in the family who still sent birthday cards with little notes in them. I answered. "What happened yesterday?" she asked softly. "They're saying you ruined Christmas, but you weren't even there." I blinked. "I ruined it?" She hesitated. "Something happened with Blake's girlfriend, Savannah. She left early. There was yelling. Then your name came up." That was all she knew, but it was enough. Later that evening, Aunt Claire called again. She had pieced together more. Apparently, Savannah had seen a photo of me in their living room, just an old snapshot, probably from a birthday years ago, and she recognized me. "You saved my grandmother," she had said. "Your doctor, Lauren Ellis." The room, Claire said, went completely still. What followed wasn't clear, only that Savannah asked if I was the sister they talked about. And whatever she heard next made her quietly gather her things and leave. I didn't need the details. I could imagine it all too well. They probably joked about me, as they always did, that I lived in hospitals, that I made things too serious, that I was hard to love. Maybe they even repeated that awful line Blake once said, "Lauren is basically death in a pantsuit." It wasn't new. But this time someone else had been listening. Someone who didn't grow up believing that cruelty was just how family speaks. Someone who remembered the doctor who stayed by her grandmother's side when every other physician had given up. Someone who saw me without being told how to see me first. That's how I ruined Christmas. By not being there to maintain the illusion. By not showing up to smile politely while they carved me into a cautionary tale. By being remembered unexpectedly for the good I had done for someone who wasn't them. 2 days passed before I got another call. This time it was from my mother. She didn't say hello, she just launched in, her voice already tense. "I don't know what you said to her, but now your brother is a mess." Savannah blocked his number. She won't speak to him. And she posted something online about being treated like garbage by the family of a woman she admires. There was the sound of glass clinking in the background. Maybe she was pacing in the kitchen, maybe pouring herself a crisis glass of wine, probably both. "She tagged your photo," she added sharply, like I'd committed a crime. I didn't say anything. I let her talk. Eventually she reached the point. "We need you to speak to her. Just clarify that there was no bad intention, that she misunderstood." Right. Because I was the family's PR department now. Damage control for the same people who had uninvited me from the dinner table. "She's ruining your brother's future," my mom said, quieter now. "His name is being dragged in those art circles she's part of. You know all that stuff in New York. He's being blacklisted." I almost laughed, not because it was funny, but because of how absurd it was. They had spent decades trying to make me invisible, and now the consequences of that invisibility were finally landing somewhere they cared about their image. I didn't respond. I just said, "I'll think about it." I didn't think about it. Instead, I opened Savannah's post. It wasn't angry, it wasn't even dramatic, it was just honest. She wrote about the doctor who had saved her grandmother, about walking into a family celebration hoping for warmth and instead hearing people joke about that same woman. She wrote how shocked she was that someone so kind and impactful could be so ridiculed by her own family. She didn't use names, she didn't have to. One line stood out. "Some people hide cruelty behind polite smiles and holiday lights." But the moment I saw that photo, I remembered what real kindness looks like, and it wasn't anyone sitting at that table. It went viral inner circles. People were sharing it, commenting, tagging others, and for the first time, none of those voices were calling me difficult or heavy. They were saying, I mattered. That same night, just before I went to bed, my phone buzzed again. This time, it was a voicemail.